Just a moment. So I think we can all see the screen. Okay, is the screen visible to everyone?
Yeah,
Hello?
it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, fine. So let's pick from there and we move straight into our today's topic. First, I want to briefly introduce our company, that is Prive International. And basically, why Prive International is to help us achieve the prime of our lives holistically, that is through health, beauty, and wealth. And the meaning of Prive is derived from the combination of the word prime and life. So PRI is from prime and FE is from life, just to symbolize the high quality of life that we and our partners, members, and users can enjoy by sharing and utilizing the range of wellness products and services we have. And so the vision and mission is to be a global e-commerce business introducing and also producing innovative consumer electronic products, healthcare products, and at the same time supplements and services through the PWGs and the wellness industry at large. So behind Prive is the phenomenal growth. So since our incorporation on the 28th of September 2021, we have expanded into more than 80 countries and regions, which includes the United States, Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia, also India, the Middle East, Australia, and New Zealand. So in total, we've covered over 80 countries in the last 3 years. We are now walking into the fourth year, and you can see through the map the dots that indicates where we are globally. And the brains behind this organization, whom we'll call the right mentors to everybody who is part of us today, who have been part of us and also wish to be part of us in the long run as we walk this journey together, is the founder and group president, that is Dr. Stephen Lai. Then we also have group co-founder and vice president, Dr. Jimmy Chong. Then we have our group chairman, Mr. Esigo, and also our group managing director, Mr. Casey Tan, and our group GGM, who is Mr. Victor Hume. So the five gentlemen have worked with us for the last 3 years, starting with the founders, then onboarding others to be part of the growth and expansion of Prive globally. And today, as we now move to the next step, we'll say that they are the right mentors because Prive is on the right path and things are working according to plan. Then our main headquarters of Prive International is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. That is the city or the capital city of Malaysia. And apart from that, our main topic today is our main products. And our main products are sourced from what we call Triology of Wellness. So when we talk of Triology of Wellness, it is not the first time we're giving this. We talk of what nature provides to us. So what does nature provide to us? Nature provide to us sunlight, abundant, especially we in the African region, abundant of it. And nature also provides oxygen, abundant of it. And nature also provides the space where we can do grounding and earthing, and also abundant of it. But because of modernization and civilization, there is what we call limitation because of time and space and abuse of nature by either destroying the nature as it is meant to be or by getting rid of nature and bringing in civilization through what we call modernization and also uh, coping up with technology and the speed of the fast growth of modern lifestyle. So today, as we go through the triology and the aspect of understanding this, we want to understand exactly why triology and why we should not abuse nature. Because he said Mother Nature is very cruel when it's abused, and punishment is also very expensive. So this affects us in our modern lifestyles. Today, we are really struggling with a lot of ailments here and there and challenges, and really trying to cope up with preventive measures, but without knowing that the secret that we are looking for is hidden somewhere in our bodies, but only a few have a key to this secret. So, with that, one of the fathers of the world of health and medicine, by the name Hippocrates, talked of the natural self-healing force, which he believed that is within each one of us in getting well when we fall sick or when we fall weak. But very few people understand this concept of the natural self-healing approach. So what we do in modernization or because of civilization and technology that runs at par is that we tend to very fast rush for artificial solutions when it comes to either pain or inflammation, which may be, if not prevented or if not taken care of on time or in time, will lead to body damage. And when the body is damaged, we'll talk of disease. So those are some of the aspects. And through that, it is through energy that the body survives. Every time you are down, which means the body lack energy. How does the body lack energy? The body will lack energy from the cellular level all the way to the tissues, to the organs that now complete the whole body structure. So most of the time, when we are weak, when we are suffering from inflammation, or when we are struggling with a condition, we don't think that it is the cells or it is about the weakness of the cells. We only think of either that part of the body that is affecting the rest of the body. A majority of the humankind today still don't understand that body is a complete formation of cells to tissues to organs. And so every time one part of the body is down or the whole body is struggling with strength, which means the cells are weak and sometimes dormant and struggling to come back to life. So it is all about energy. And if it is energy, then remember every cell is a battery. Just for example, we have a very good tool today, which we have always with us. And this tool, it is a gadget, it is part of our lives, and we can't do without it. And even right now, maybe it is what we are using to log into this Zoom meeting. That is your cell phone. So it is a single cell. That's why it is called a cell phone. So this cell is what hosts the battery to your phone. So, which means if the cell is down, the battery is down. And automatically, what you will do, and we dearly make sure with a lot of loyalty that we'll never let this gadget go down with power. So we'll always make sure it is charged in time, then it is activated and it is put into use. That is just one gadget in the name of cell phone. And especially today, we talk of smartphone. So if that is too dear to your life and you can't part away with it, and it is just one cell, what happens to the trillions of cells that are in your body and they need to be charged, each of them to complete the work of your holistic body? What happens to it? We don't pay attention, we don't care, we don't understand. And so even if there's trouble in our body, we really don't care what is going on. So we'll give this to a few experts who will judge and give us a direction. And most of the time, it will be the artificial direction, where we rush for medications, artificial medication, modern medication that will instantly suppress the pain to manage the condition, but might not give us a permanent solution. So our cells in the body are the battery of our body, and they must be charged, must be activated, and must be optimized according to Bruce Lipton. So the human body is a complete energy field, starting from the cell to the organs. So we are energy beings. We are energy beings. Human beings are energy beings. And if that is the case, then remember, through energy, there is vibration. So everything vibrates, and even the earth itself that hosts earth still vibrates. Through it is powered by a very strong magnetic field. So vibration is key, and even our good health depends on that. So if that is the case, we are talking of energy and vibration. So which means the secret that we will wish to look into in this universe must be approached through energy provision, through frequencies, and through vibrations. And this is well put by Nikola Tesla, one of the founding fathers of alternative current electricity. Now, everything is energy, and the energy is is the body's best medicine. And this is very practical because without energy, nothing goes around. Everything that is around you needs energy. I've just given a good example of your cell phone. You want to move from one place to the other, you will use something powered by energy. You want to use an equipment, it is powered by energy. You are at home, you want to cook your meals, there is an energy. All the machines you will use around you will need to be powered by energy, depending, irrespective of which source of energy you are going to apply. Energy is needed. And so today, in this fast-paced world, there is no way you are going to run away from energy. And even your health needs energy. So the future medicine will be the medicine of frequency, according to Albert Einstein, and that frequency is powered by energy. So without energy, we cannot produce frequency. And now, if that is the case, then as we talk of triology, and we are talking of sunlight, we are talking of oxygenation, and we are talking of earthing and grounding. Today's mankind, because of civilization and modern setups, whereby a majority of the largest populations are settled in the cities, a lot is missing from the tree. We might not have time to take a walk, and not just taking a walk. We might not have time to take a walk barefoot. Either the environment where we reside in is not very conducive to do that, or we ignorantly don't understand the health benefits of doing that, or because of fast-paced standards of living and competition, we don't have time to basically do that. That is one. And remember, by doing grounding or earthing, you discharge yourself to the earth, you receive a lot of magnetic field from the earth, and also it helps to balance your body cell polarity. Then number two, oxygenation is key. Nairobi alone has got a population of 6 point something million during the day, starting 4 in the morning. And by the time it is 7 in the evening, the population will drop to around 4 point something. But if you can see the setup of Nairobi as a city, then the biggest population will be in the city, CBD, Central Business District. And you can see the biggest population, how people are scrambling for space, even when it comes to walking along the footpaths. All these people are gasping and needs oxygen. But how is Nairobi surrounded? Do we have big, thick, expansive forest around Nairobi to supply that good oxygen? We brought down all that. And today, we are only surrounded by the longest, the tallest, the widest, and the deepest concretes or steels where everything is stationed, whether it is your office, whether it is your store, whether it is your hostel. So we've replaced trees with concretes and steels in the name of buildings. And along these buildings, we only have cabros and tack. So even the natural ground that is needed is not there. So that will also will bring problem because we are lacking insufficient supply of oxygen, and lack of oxygen will lead to hypoxia. Remember, the presence of oxygen is the absence of disease, and now that there's that deficiency of oxygen, then which means diseases are hovering just around us, and we cannot protect ourselves from them. Then the last one, and we are blessed Africa is one of the continents that enjoy sunlight from January to December. Very few parts of Africa misses that. But because of modern lifestyle, because of fast-paced living standards and competition for resources, people start their lives every day before sunrise, and they end up their day's activities after sunset. And most of these activities are done under roofs of these tall buildings we have around us, which means even that sunlight that is there naturally provided for free for the beautiful continent of Africa is still missing. If that happens, then one step at the other, after the other, we are walking away from nature and making several steps closer to diseases, in which means if not taken care of, then we'll end up into deep graves. So blockage is one of the key factors of sickness, and we undergo pain. A majority of people will talk of pain, will talk of inflammation. And so pain is blockage is equal to pain, and this will result in inflammation according to Chinese traditional medicine. So when the body system is blocked, either through the energy channels, blood circulatory channel, or the lymphatic system, something is wrong. And if you go to the cellular level, maybe a cell is weak or a cell is dormant. And that will result into what is going to give you a negative impact on the body energy. Now, according to the quantum model of reality, we could as well say that all disease that you and I know and might think of is a lowering of frequency, according to Joy Dispenza. And how do you lower frequency? The frequency will only go down when there's no energy to power that frequency. So every time we talk of low frequency, it is connected to low energy. And when there's low energy, low frequency, vibration won't take place. Back to your phone. When your phone is at maybe 15%, 10%, or 5%, very weak battery power, even when it rings, it might not vibrate. Or sometimes it might not even make a call. You might not even browse. Why? Because if there's no energy, there won't be frequency. And if there's no frequency, vibration cannot take place. So that is very key. Then, now today, modernization and civilization and technology is now taking us back to nature. And as we've seen before, Prive give us an alternation measure when it comes to replacement of what we call traditional aspect of understanding nature to modern aspect of understanding nature. A modern man might not go back to the countryside to do nothing, enjoy sunlight and green vegetation with a lot of trees and springs and rivers running around to give you what Mother Nature offers for free. But now I and you spend almost 3 quarters of our lives in the cities. I don't think, actually, it is not even 3 quarters. Nobody spent even a quarter of his time of a year on in the countryside. So, which means even an eighth of that is not there. Maybe from January, you will spend maybe a week or two in the village, and the rest of the days you will be in the city. And so, whether we like it or not, we might not achieve what is being provided for. And because we can't achieve it, and also we need good life, then Price bring us the alternatives of that. Today, we want to walk through one of the provisions provided by Price in the name of Itera Care Premium Plus. So, Premium Plus in the family of Itera Care, it is one of the series and one of the latest series of Itera Care that Price has provided to its community and family. And what is Itera Care? Itera Care is a device that is 3-in-1, which means it has 3 technologies combined together to give us the gadget called Itera Care. And these 3 technologies, when put together, the energy that will be harnessed and pumped into our bodies to the cellular level will automatically give us what we would wish to get when we enjoy Mother Nature without limitations. So, number one, first, the device is very smart, it is very safe, it is very effective, and it is very portable. So, when we talk of the 3-in-1 core technology, the first technology is what we call terahertz technology. So, terahertz is a waveband that produces a frequency that resonates with our body cell frequencies. When you talk of resonating frequencies, they must vibrate at the same speed. So if one is weak and one is strong, the stronger one has to power the weaker one so that they be at par. But if one is dormant and one is strong, then the dormant will have to fall off because it cannot cope with the strength of the normal frequency. So that's how, when terahertz frequency is exposed to the body, it will help the cells to activate the weak, and the dormant cells will be activated through that process. And through that, the body will be activated. And now this one will push the body to now what we call natural self-healing force. So through that, if the body is given a natural self-healing force, weak cells will be rejuvenated, activated, and the same with dormant cells. But now, the cells that cannot survive, these are the cells that we call abnormal cells, will not survive that frequency, and they will have to die and get out of the body. So through that, anything in the name of free radicals, anything in the name of abnormal cells will be eliminated from the body, and the body will start what we call regeneration. So that is the power of terahertz. But for this to happen, there is also energy that is required. So the energy that now will bring energy back to the cells when the frequency is connected is now what we call the quantum. So the quantum will generate energy that will energize our cells and basically to help bodily balance, and at the same time it will strengthen the body and produces a healing energy. Remember, it is all about energy and how this energy will produce a frequency through a vibration process that will go at the same level in terms of frequency with our body cell frequencies. So quantum provides that energy. But now optical quartz will amplify the energy generated by the device. And this amplification basically is about mimicking 1/40 of the sun energy plus the light that we all need, but because of modern lifestyle, we might not be enjoying it even in a whole week, maybe once in a week, in few minutes, you might get it. But most of the days, you are out of sunlight. So the three combined together now give us what we would have found through accepting and obeying Mother Nature, but because today it is not possible, we'll still be back to a normal longevity lifestyle whereby the body can now regain itself and start what we call natural self-healing process and stability. Now, what is terahertz frequency that we've just mentioned? Terahertz frequency that we've just mentioned was discovered back in the 1980s by American scientists. But by then, it was in the military world. But today, as we are talking, terahertz waveband is between electronic wavebands and photonics wavebands. So for us to understand terahertz wavebands, we first have to know what are the electronic wavebands. Radio waves, again back to your dear gadget, cell phone or handphone. They uses radio waves. Your TV, your radio, they all uses what we call radio waves. Again, we have microwaves. Microwaves. In every setup of urban home, we want to miss one thing called what? A microwave oven. We give it a short name, microwave, according to our understanding. It also uses very tiny waves that penetrates walls of containers, plastics, papers, tins to warm the food at the comfort of your home. The two are regulated by international telecommunication authorities that now come down to every country's regulating body on that. In Kenya, we still have Kenya Telecommunication Regulating Board, Kenya Telecommunication Regulation Authority. So they regulate the length and the wavelength that is needed for every gadget that is introduced to this country that can be tolerated by our bodies. So we say these wavebands must be in good state that cannot harmful or cannot harm the body. So anything that is accepted and the body can consume it without damage. But it does not give you 100% surety that the little that is absorbed or we are exposed to is not that harmful. So the two basically cannot radiate well with our body cells, and in some aspects of understanding, we know in our hospitals we are exposed to these waves when it comes to treatment or diagnosing conditions, diseases, and we are told the limitations of how to use them and how many times you can even subject your body to these waves, even in 1 year, which means they are not very friendly and cannot be tolerated on longer waves when exposed to the body, and they can damage our body cells. But now when it comes to terahertz now operates in between the electronics and the photonics. So when we talk to photonic, when we go to photonics, before we now indulge too much into terahertz, photonic will describe it as visible light, where we have infrared, ultraviolet, and X-rays. So they are weaker compared to radio waves and microwaves. So terahertz, the same name, is also an electromagnetic waveband, which consists of 30 pm to 3000 pu wavelength. And it has a frequency that range between 2 to 17 terahertz. And this one is very good for human body, so it cannot damage your body cells. Now, if that is the case, then what does provide through that? Then we take you back to history, 2004. The US government had already predicted and named terahertz technology as one of the top 10 technologies that will change the future world. And when we talk of the future world, that was then. Now we are in 2024. So how many years down the line? Almost 20 years down the line. And as we are speaking now, it is used in communication, it is used in aviation and biomedical. So terahertz is a safe non-ionizing frequency. So we must understand that well. We don't ionize. It is non-ionizing. You know what ionization means and what the effects of negative effects of too much ionization to the body. So it can pass through non-conducting materials, especially like clothing, paper, plastics, and glass. But terahertz frequency cannot penetrate walls and blocks and metals. Okay. So with that, those who have understood this frequency, they have given it names according to the results they have found out of it. So wave of life, according to American scientists, because they believe that it matches the vibrational frequency of human cells and can resonate with them. So through that, the body will be activated and the cell functions will be optimal. So to the Americans, they call it their wave of life. Then Japanese talk of light of life. Then the Chinese talk of God's waveband. I think soon we will also give it a name. And so the power of frequency, as we've mentioned, power of frequency. We are told that certain frequencies can effectively stop the growth of cancer cells. And back in 2003, Godwin also discovered that certain frequency can help cells to heal, regenerate, recover, and repair. So if that is the case, then I've just mentioned electromagnetic. I still go back and you can see it better. We are talking of electromagnetic wave band. So electromagnetic wave band, that is PEMF, increases cellular growth and gene proliferation. And that is what we get in this wonderful device. Now, how does now terahertz wave frequency and quantum energy help cellular voltage? How can this help cellular voltage? Voltage is what comes from an energy generated source. Me and you are exposed to bad diet today. Me and you go through stress. Me and you go through radiation, emotional stress, acidity, and toxicity. So before we are exposed to this, we have very normal cells. And we are talking of millions and millions of these cells. But day in, day out, we still continue exposing ourselves to radiation and stress, acidity, and toxicity. So with these processes, start weakening our what? Our cells, which means they drain energy from the cells. The cell starts going down. And we continue with the same process on daily routine until the cells get out of energy. When the energy is lost, they become bad cells. When your phone does not have power, you cannot use it. So it is as good as dead. But now, as the way you will expose your phone to a charging system to power it, when you expose terahertz frequency and quantum energy to your weak cell or bad cell, then it will be powered back. It will be rejuvenated and regeneration will start. So that one will bring in what we call natural self-healing what? Self-healing force. And so in the year 2024, just 1 year back, and to the Chinese, it's called the cycle of 9 purple energy fire, a major cycle that will last for the coming 20 years. A celestial cycle follows the energy hexagram, which represents the 9 purple energy fire. So energy signifies that all things are illuminated and bright. Energy signifies that all things are illuminated and bright. And now this one brings us to new generational of wellness device, iTerra Premium Plus. So we lead the light of the realm. We are talking of triology, and now we are talking of modern triology aspect. And today, iTerra Care series is compared to sunlight. Iteracare Bio is compared to earthing and grounding. Oxytap is compared to oxygenation, which means they will give you what is missing and needed by modern man to make the body holistic and have power. And so, when we measure on this, today we want to see how Iteracare product series has completely transformed the course of human destiny and replaced what is missing. So, after the launch of Iteracare Premium Pro, again with unparalleled history, Iteracare Premium Plus was launched. And why? We've just seen the history of the Chinese calendar when it comes to celebrating energy. That is energy of fire, which is emitting light. First, let's see the advantages of Iteracare Premium Plus. Terahertz Energy Tube is the combination of optical crystal materials and terahertz quantum technology, which produces powerful terahertz wavebands. So the light waves resonate with human cells at the same frequency to activate dormant and inert cells. And this one will promote cell restructuring functions and blocking the meridians to activate the energy flow as well as enhance the body's micro circulation. The good thing that majority of us still don't understand is that Iteracare Premium Plus will still emit frequency even if it is not powered. Even if it is not powered. What do I mean? Even if it is at rest, it is unplugged and it is just in the room, still it will produce frequency. And this frequency, because it will resonate with your body cell frequency. Even when you are at rest at home, you are asleep, you are doing any work, any cause of the home, you will still be getting that frequency. There will be still resonance between you and Iteracare Premium Plus. That's why it is a must that every home should have one, which means all day long, all night long, there will be energy in that home. Good energy, good frequency, good vibration. So those who love their phones so dear that they can't even sleep away from the phones, and you'll find them with their phones on the bed or next to their bed. From today, replace your phone with Iteracare Premium Plus. Keep your phone in the sitting room, charging at night, and replace your phone in the bedroom with Iteracare Premium Plus. And so, if that is the case, then remember terahertz quantum technology restores damaged cells, and quantum resonance activates dormant cells. It is energy. Terahertz produces frequency that will restore damaged cells, and the quantum energy will activate the dormant cells. And so, with that, what we're talking about is to look now into the 5 features of this wonderful device. We are talking of penetration, we are talking of activation, we are talking of identification, the safety, and how it is user friendly. Okay. According to Hippocrates, those who cannot be cured by medicine can be cured by surgery. But what about those who cannot be cured by surgery? He still believes that they can only be cured by fire, hypothermia. And when you go back to bio, you'll still find that one aspect of bio is when it comes to diathermy. Diathermy is generating heat to burn excessive fat in the body. And we are talking of hypothermia, generating heat to help the body cure. So if there is a way to hit the bones, then all diseases can be treated. But how can we hit the bones? Can we expose them to live fires in the homes, burning woods, charcoal, coal, electricity, gas? We can't do that because we will get damage, bodily damage. But now, what Hippocrates foresaw is already with us today in the name of Care Premium Plus. So when you expose this heat to the body, what will be the benefits? We are talking of boosting your immune system. Benefit number one. Number two, it will increase metabolic activity in the cells. Will also increase cellular oxygenation, also will help blood flow, and also metabolize waste products in the body, softens connective tissues to relieve stiffness of the joints, the bugs, the bones, and also the muscles will be relaxed and stiffness will be reduced. And it also works as a very, very strong painkiller. So at around 98.6 Fahrenheit, ideal body temperature for optimum what? Health. That is what the device subjects to your body. So it will increase the body's temperature to 1 degree Celsius, 33.8, which can boost the immunity of up to 5 times. Benefits of heating the body. And this benefit of heating the body only comes with Care Premium Plus, and also we have the Pro. So let's see the first feature, penetration, heating up the bone marrow to clear blockage. So the frequency can penetrate our body from 20 to 30 centimeters. From, which means even at a distance of 30 centimeters, it will still penetrate the body, reaching the bone marrow. And this one will promote blood energy, circulation, also will increase your body temperature, me and you, will strengthen our immunity, and also aiding in the recovery of any body weakness or any condition. So when you activate stem cells in the bone marrow, what happens? How many a times have you heard that somebody needs stem donation? And most of the people who need these stem donations are sent either to India, South Africa, and I don't know if few of our hospitals do that operation. So it is an expensive process, and the majority that cannot afford it will go under because they don't have a solution. So what happens here is that when you subject your spine to a blowing therapy with a Care device, and now we are talking of Premium Plus that emits that frequency, these dormant cells, the medical world call them primitive cells. They are primitive cells because they are just lying there doing nothing until the body needs them. And how that is how they are borrowed into any body tissue and regeneration starts. So if you hit the bone, then it will release stem cells to our bodily what? Systems. And that's why we have testimonies of people who are supposed to go for stem cell donations, and by exposing their body to our device, they never went out and they recovered, and now they have their normal lives. So the effects of terahertz on the body, that is your body and my body. We start with ladies. It will help to alleviate menstrual pain in ladies and also reduce gynecological what? Disorders or inflammation. And today, it is almost something that we are living with when it comes to ladies. They undergo a lot of these problems, and some of them have tried here and there, no solutions. Number two, it will enhance the functions of the motor organs for better bodily balance. How many cases have you met where the motor organs have failed? When motor system fails, remember motor system controls your muscles. So which means if it fails, the muscles will collapse. When the muscles collapse, you will not move. Not your hands, not your legs, not your body. So you will remain stagnated, helpless, with only support coming from your immediate health providers. So that is how bad that condition is, and hospital don't give a solution. So do you think that if you expose your sister, your brother, who is suffering from a motor organ failure, can they start regenerating? Yes, which means the cells, motor cells, have failed or they are weak. If they are regenerated, the system will come back to life. Number three is restoring the magnetic field of disrupted cells and promoting cell regeneration. Yes, we talked of earthing and grounding, balancing our body cell polarities. But do we really understand? Most of the time, for the cells to regenerate, they need that field, magnetic field. And pulse electromagnetic field that is produced by the device will help these cells, disrupted cells, to come back to realignment and start regeneration. Also addressing bone health, prostate health, kidney well-being, and lower back comfort concerns. When it comes to back comfort concerns, prostate health, prostate health will be combined with the kidney and well-being. So, how many of these cases do we have today? And when we mention just a few serious cases where we talk of kidney dialysis, so many, and it is expensive process. So if you can't afford it, some people cannot afford the dialysis that is demanding 2 times a week or 1 times a week, 3 times a week, and every time you have to pay some good money for you to go through that process, which also is not convincing because they have a continuous process of bypassing the natural functions of the kidneys and give you what we call artificial kidney for filtration. And every time the kidneys will stop working, the kidneys will slow down. And so it will not be an optimal function of a body organ that should be doing its work continuously and discharging excesses of the body uh, metabolism products out of the body, but these things will be accumulated for even 3 days. Then once you go and you use an artificial machine to get them out of your body, then again you stay for a 3, 4 days, 5 days, then you go again to remove all these toxins. But on daily basis, you are putting in raw materials that the body needs to burn down for energy. But now, all these, when they're accumulated too much, they become toxic. Oxidation is high, and the body develop blockage. And so the cells will be even damaged further. So Iteracare, and especially what we are discussing today, will help you with that. Muscle health, a big challenge also to the modern person. So it will also help you to come out of muscle problems. Then body natural detoxification process. We need to detoxify, but how do we detoxify? Maybe the body, because of sedentary lifestyle, we are not physically active, and maybe because of that sedentary lifestyle, even the food, most of the food that we do eat are what we call processed foods. So it brings a lot of detox. It brings a lot of toxins into the body. The air that we breathe in the cities, uh, very polluted air. So all these things will lead to a lot of toxins in the body. So when you subject your body to a therapy using the device, the body is in a position to expel these toxins, and the body becomes free of radicals, promoting blood flow and improve microcirculation. Blockage is equal to pain, that is inflammation. But what of this blockage happens in the microcirculation system? What happens? What happens is very simple. The body will go down. We'll start talking of high blood pressure, or we'll even talk of brain damage. We'll talk of stroke. We'll talk of heart damage, cardiovascular failure. So for you to come out of this, you also need this device for a therapy. Then the warming effect to dispel internal what? Dampness and cold. We are now into the cold season again. The rains are just here with us. Some areas are too cold and people are suffering because of that. And this device is now the solution to their problems. Then the last one is to support the maintenance of healthy blood sugar levels and also promote cardiovascular health. So, sugar, blood sugar. When we talk of healthy blood sugar levels, when you have a normal blood sugar level, and healthy blood sugar levels when your blood sugar levels are either low or high. And so that one brings the word diabetes. And how many of our friends suffer from that? We know quite a number of them. And it is also a painful process, a treatment that is prolonged, and sometimes your advice is part of your life. And there's some people even describe it lifestyle disease or lifetime disease. So, what about cardiovascular health? We know all those. So, ladies and gentlemen, the benefits of Itera Care Premium Plus is to expel those colds and dampness, promote meridian line circulations, detoxify and promote blood circulation, resolve status, alleviate gastrointestinal discomfort, alleviate lower back discomfort, also address limb and joint discomfort, and at the same time, easy. It will ease shoulder and neck soreness and also reduce inflammation and discomfort, addressing women's gynecological disorders. In summary, so advantages of Itera Premium Plus. So, what are the advantages of Itera Premium Plus? Deep penetration, more comprehensive, simplified, and also professional adaptability, and also more effective. So, simple introduction. The device is primarily used for wellness, but can also be used for localized heating and in laboratories. We also talk of wellness rooms. What are the wellness rooms? For example, therapy centers, massage centers, all those are wellness rooms. Sometimes wellness rooms include even the hospitals. Then we have also beauty treatments. The instrument structure comprises terahertz crystals, a casing, a handle, electric motor, fan blade, heating elements, dust-proof mesh cover, a switch, power cord, and other components. So what is the working principles? For the direct rotation of the rotor by an electric motor, driving the rotation of the fan blade. As the fan blade rotates, air is drawn in through the air inlet, and the centrifugal airflow formed is then released through the terahertz crystal tube. The air passes through the heating wire installed on the heating bracket inside the instrument and is heated up when electrified. So please, from the back, there is a mesh. Don't block that, because that is how the air goes in. Then it goes into the system. Then at the nozzle, if you check from inside, you'll see a glass, crystal glass. So the heating elements that produces the energy and the frequency is in that crystal glass, a very special glass. For it to have all the elements and the precious stones that is in it, it goes through a 12-day heating process non-stop. So that's why it is a treasure and a precious glass, crystal glass. So when it is broken, it is replaceable, but it will take time. It has to go back to the service centers to be replaced at a cost and then brought back to you. So then we have the three selectable models: mode 1, mode 2, and mode 3. Then we have 0 when it is off, mode 1 when it is low, mode 2 medium with heat, mode 3 air and heat. So practically you will go through that process. Then indicator light. This one so many people have ignored before. But if you are keen when doing therapy using the device, immediately you start it on, it will give you a beep. Till it, then there will be an illumination of green light. Then after every 2 minutes during the therapy, of which now the second session, the next session of theology, we'll see how if you effectively activate these body parts, then you get the optimal results. So that will be our next after this. So attention is to make sure this device is kept well and also make sure that it is plugged onto a stable power supply. And if you don't have a stable power supply, then back it up with either a guard. Some use TV guards, some will use fridge guards, so that that guard will stabilize the power before it is supplied to the device. Okay, don't expose it to fire. And when you are doing the therapy, make sure it is 10 centimeters away from the body. And so make sure that every time it is on use, everything is taken care of. So to ensure the proper, correct, and safe functioning of the wellness device and to extend its product's lifespan, you should pay attention to how the switch is handled, how the wire is handled, how the gadget is handled, and should not be exposed to hard surfaces by dropping it, to damp areas by letting it absorb dampness. And so when we come now to the closer of this, remember that the device contains high temperature components. So when using the wellness device, it is crucial to ensure unobstructed airflow through the inlet and outlet. So don't block the outlet and don't block the inlet. Don't block the outlet and don't block the inlet. Some people blow it too close until you can even feel it is blocked and it is giving reverse airflow. That one can damage the device. So that's why we are told give a 10 centimeter distance and also hold the wire away from the inflow mesh. If you don't do that, then it will fail to achieve the desired therapeutic effect. Also, it will also may overheat and damage the product. Remember, cleaning it for hygienic purposes is also very important. And also, because it sucks in air, and this air will sometimes it's sucked in with dust, make sure the wire mesh from the inlet for the inlet is also cleaned periodically with a brush, soft brush that does not damage it. So now that is the device, that is the packaging, and one ITeraCare device per household will bring life to every home. You can go for the Premium Plus or you can go for the Pro, the bigger device. So that is about triology in the aspect of sunlight that is given to us through ITeraCare Premium Plus, ITeraCare Pro, and also partly, as we talked last Tuesday, through the bio. So the next part, before we go to how we get oxygenation through triology, we will now look into the aspect of how this product works and for how much time you should spend with it activating the body, that is the therapy, and what are the key points that we should concentrate to get maximum result for people to recover as soon as possible or prevent any pain or inflammation in the body. So that is about today, and I'll come to a stop because we've shared enough. And now, if there's a question here or there, we can engage in the next 5 minutes, and we call it an evening for East African time. And the rest of the one that is with us today also will proceed to either their early evenings or late night or early morning. So thank you very much. I do hope that we've walked the path of triology and how Prive has engaged you to give you a solution to the lack of triology in your lifestyle as a modern person. So I'll stop sharing and engage a question here and there. And if there's no question, then we can call it an evening. We were supposed to have a testimony, so let me just check my chat if I can reach out to the testimony. Let me just confirm as we. So as I confirm with my testimonial person, I will request that if you have a concern, a question, a contribution, a personal testimony from your side, you can as well share. So the floor is open and you can unmute if you have something to tell us.
Hi.
Yes, fine, fine. You are welcome.
Thank you. My question is, can the itera be used to correct or to help a person whose teeth have been affected by fluorosis? Their teeth.
Repeat the question again.
Can the itera be used to help a patient whose teeth have been affected by dental fluorosis?
Dental fluorosis.
Yes, a child.
A child. How old is the child?
12.
12.
12 years.
Yes, so for how long he has been into that problem?
Um, since 5. Yes, since childhood. Yes.
Since childhood.
Yes. They were exposed to water with a lot of fluoride when growing up.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So the conventional treatment that he has been undergoing has improved anything?
No, but they are getting some crowns put on their teeth.
Okay.
Yes, as a temporary solution as the jaws keep growing.
As they just keep growing.
Yes.
Remember, we are addressing the body holistically from the cellular level.
Yes.
And for the body to recover fully, which means there must be regeneration of
Mm-hmm.
the cells. And every part of the body, including the teeth or the tooth, has a cell
Uh-huh.
for regeneration. So, which means even the dental system needs regeneration, and that was damaged by being exposed to artificial chemicals.
Yes.
So, I do believe that through continuous therapy process,
Mm-hmm.
this child will recover. But again, apart from now doing the therapy,
Mm-hmm.
we also need to restore calcium deficiency
Okay.
because what was depleted during that exposure was calcium at that tender age.
Yes.
Yes, and through dieting, and if dieting cannot give enough of it, then you go through supplementation to bridge it. And we have one of the
Mm-hmm.
best calcium I'm proud of. So if you can
Yes.
do combination of that calcium, and also bring in the stem cell and the therapy,
Okay.
then this child will recover fully.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other question? I can see there's a question about Iteracare basic. Is it similar? I really don't understand what he means by basic. Unless he reframe the question again. But as per now, I really can't understand the question. That is Anne's. Anne. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've exhausted the day. And thank you very much this evening once more for being part of the Zoom discussion. This is a process that we are going to